So now we got Miles Turner at the 5. No Damian Lillard, who's gone. Are they a better team with Miles Turner? Sounds to me like they got better. So now, with that being said,
wait. So you're saying they're better than they were last year?
Yes, because I think that with Miles.
What?
Yes, I think that. Yes.
What's going on here?
Okay, so with
They've
Miles,
lost. They like
Chill out
lost
with you. You didn't have to do that.
I think you could say they are better than they were
After
when
Middleton.
Dame tore his Achilles.
Yeah, when
No,
Dame
that's
tore
what
his
I'm saying.
Achilles.
Yeah, so you're saying
When
they're
Dame
better
tore his
than- they're better
Achilles
than
and
they
it
would
looked
be.
like they were just gonna have no point guards,
none.
them flipping Dame for Miles Turner makes them better than what they would have been.
They got
But they
better.
aren't better than they were
Okay,
last year.
With Dame on the roster, they're not better. I'm not going to argue that point. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
However, with what they've added to this crew,
What did they
in
add,
addition,
Chill?
Okay,
You named one player.
Okay, KPJ, who I've already, you know how high I am on KPJ. Swiper, you can shake your head about KPJ all you want.
You could
You
keep
can't
doing
give me
that,
legit.
Swiper.
You can't give me legit logic that everywhere he plays, he plays.
I can give you
Everywhere he
legit
plays.
logic because if you're super talented and extremely athletic, you will get a chance in this league in
Imagine
every
that.
destination. And the
Sound like a
issue
good
is,
player.
I asked you this same question. Is he a top 20 point guard in the NBA? We went through
Yeah,
the
we
list,
went
and
through
then the
this already.
determination was no. So that's going to be
But
the problem.
that
for
doesn't
them,
make
too.
them weak,
as
though,
good as-
Swiper.
I'm not done. I'm
I
talking
don't
to
think
Chill about his
KPJ was
KPJ
bad
point.
for the Bucks. I just don't think he's great. I just think he's.
We don't think he's weak, Ron. We're not nobody.
Yeah, he's
nobody-
just not.
said
He's not a top
Swiper.
20.
No,
Not
I'm
top.
saying
It's
Swiper's the same.
Ron. Is he a top 20 point guard in the league? No.
What
No,
does that
he's
have
not.
to do with anything?
Okay, because the
Is your quarterback a top 20 quarterback in the league?
The conversation.
No,
that
but
we're
y'all got a
having-
good team, right?
The conversation.
You don't gotta be top 20
But
at your
Ron.
position.
Sometimes again, you enter into the debate field and you read and you get cooked because your points aren't salient. Number one, the roster is worst.
Salient.
They are trusting KPJ.
What does that have to do
Gary
with Kevin
Trent? I'm not
Porter
done.
Jr.?
You have to
Keep going,
listen.
Swiper.
You have to listen.
Keep
You have to
going,
listen.
Swiper. They're trusting
KPJ, Gary Trent Jr., Kyle Kuzma, and then Giannis and Miles Turner. And then their bench is going to be Ryan Hollins, Gary Harris, Bobby Portis. That's probably their top 8. That top 8, relative to the rest of the NBA, is not good. The reason why
Relative to the
they're-
rest of the league. That's not what we're talking about, though, Swiper.
well,
We're
I'm talking.
about
They're
them
playing
being
versus the
playoff
NBA,
teams.
Chill.
So
We
you
have to
have to
do-
listen,
no,
Swiper.
we have to do
listen.
that. No,
They're
Ron,
playing
no.
versus other teams.
Swiper is right. Swiper is right because we can't compare them to who they were yesterday, last year, and 5 years ago. They're not playing against their last year's roster. They're playing against everybody else. That's why I'm listing other teams I think are better than them. On top of that, I just want to say, Chill, I can't say what I said about the Rockets and then not say what I just said about the Bucks. You know what I mean? Like I can't. I'm trying to come with some consistency here. I'm not trying to just jump around and play favorites.
So if
You know what I mean?
I'm
I think this roster is not good competing in to be a playoffs team in the NBA. Chill, you also said a bunch of times something I agree with. I think people sleep on the East. I think it's wide open as far as who's dominating the East now with JT out, Halliburton out, and all that. But that doesn't mean that I think the East is terrible. I just think it's wide open as who's going to be the new top dog.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? The East still has a handful of teams that are really good basketball teams. And so that's why when you keep yelling at me, they got the best player a player I think is the best player in the world. I acknowledge that. I see Giannis' name on the roster.
Do you though, Ox? Do you really acknowledge that? Because when I think about this Milwaukee Bucks team, like what is it going to take for them to get in the playoffs? Okay, I got the best. In your estimation, I got the best player in the league. I got guys who play the game the way the game is played today. Taurean Prince, one of the better sharpshooters in the game. AJ Green, one of the better sharpshooters in the game. Because he's not Middleton, that doesn't mean he's not one of the better sharpshooters in the game. Like I said about KPJ, we've seen teams who've had point guards who aren't great point guards, but good enough to get in the playoffs. Nobody said anything about them winning the NBA championship. On top of that, Ron sits up here today. Ron, how did you feel? Rewind the clock back to October the 13th. 2024. Ron, how did you feel about the Indiana Pacers going into the season? It's November of 20. It's October of 24. How did you feel about Indiana going into the season?
Fresh off a deep playoff run. Fresh off 2024.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I just want to see if you're about to lie.
Fresh off a deep playoff run. I thought they were a top 3-4 team, and I thought that in the East, I thought they were a top 3 or 4 team.
Yep.
And I thought they were bound to make some noise again in the playoffs. I thought they were a very good team.
Sure.
I thought they had the second best point guard in the East.
Yep.
You did
Now,
that. Yep.
and now with what you just said, Ron. So now this Milwaukee team, I got the best player, arguably the best player in the league. I got better at the 5 spot. My rotation guys.
Is he better
play
than
the
Brook
game.
Lopez?
Oh
According to Ron?
man.
Yes, I do. I
Ron,
think
Ron,
that-
do you think he's better than Brook Lopez? I heard you talk about Brook Lopez last year.
Barely.
I mean, Ron, that's a legitimate question.
It is legit. Is Miles Turner better than Brook
They,
Lopez
they
in your
def-
estimation, Ron?
Miles Turner shoots
This the gap.
just
right
as
here.
good, if
Like,
not good enough.
And a worse rim
He's
protector.
younger.
Is he a better rim protector?
He's younger. A rim protector,
Yeah, is he a better rim protector than Brook Lopez?
same thing. It's that they got a younger Brook Lopez, if you will.
That's what I'm thinking, Ron.
Younger, more
Yeah,
mobile.
with less block work and kind of the same
Brook
stability.
Lopez
to
don't
shoot.
play on the box like that. Give me a break.
I didn't say he was on the block. I just said he got less block work.
Brook
than
Lopez was on the block yesterday.
He's-
Him and Valanciunas.
He's
Brook
basically
Lopez, Brook
they
Lopez
just-
definitely does post up. He just shares the court with Giannis, so he doesn't have the opportunity. But when
Right.
he's off the
Who's
court,
better,
when Giannis is
who's
off
better
court,
on the
he
block?
posts up.
Who's better on the block?
I would say it's not about that though, Ox. I would say he's younger.
About that too.
I would say he's younger and he's a better fit next to Giannis. I would say that.
I think he is too. I think he's a better fit next to Giannis also. With that being said, right? With that being said, if you look at this group, and you look at what they have with Giannis, you got 2 guys who are sharpshooters. You got a really good backup point guard in Rollins. And we're talking about making the playoffs. We ain't talking about a team that's winning the NBA championship. We're talking about a team
So
making
you're saying top 6.
yes. I think they're
Okay, so chill. I'm looking at it right now. I got Knicks,
It's not possible.
Magic. So Knicks, Magic, Detroit, Cleveland. Okay, that's the 4, right? We can agree on those 4.
And
In Atlanta, those are the 5.
Those are the 5.
All right. So then the next question for me is going to be the Raptors, the Pacers, the Celtics, and then you have the 76ers, and then you have the Heat.
Yep.
I think the Raptors have a better roster going away. The question for
Easy-
them is going to be their
easily
offensive
better
output, like with Scotty and the rest of them. But they're going to have a much better defense than them. I think that's going to matter a lot in the regular season setting. Do you disagree, Ron? Is that not a fair assertion about the Raptors versus
I
the
am
Bucks?
sleeping on the Raptors. I can see how you guys.
Yeah, I don't
see how
know.
you
I
guys
don't know
would
what
feel
to
that
think
way.
about the Raptors. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm
I don't know what to think.
so sleep on the Raptors. It's not,
Why?
and this
But
isn't
why?
even to push an agenda for Penn. This isn't even me trying to troll and be funny. I think the Raptors, the way that you guys are hyping this Raptors team,
How
I
is
think
it
it's
hype just to
ridiculous.
acknowledge that they're
because we
the-
haven't seen anything from none of these guys, Brandon Ingram included. None of these guys. Yeah, I'm throwing Brandon Ingram in there too because in his 8 years in the league.
Y'all
in his
see,
8
y'all
years in the
doing
league.
too much on Scotty because how Penn hypes him, but Scotty is a really good.
Okay,
basketball
but
player.
okay,
Yeah.
so check this out. So check this out. So check this out. So check this out. Scotty Barnes went to the playoffs, right?
Yep.
And they won. They got swept.
22. This 22, 4-2. 4-2?
What's that?
It was
They
4-2.
lost,
and-
yeah.
Well, let's
They
just
lost
talk about
to-
this
they lost to-
basketball game.
Hold
Let's
on,
not-
no, Ox. Hold on, no. 'cause
Let's talk about his ability to play
no.
basketball,
To
bro.
give you
Let's
a
not do
fair
that.
example. I'm
That
about
was
to give
4
you a
years
fair
ago, by this
example.
point, by the way.
So Scotty Barnes went
It
to
was
the
Scotty
playoffs and
Barnes'
he got
rookie year,
swept.
and he got hurt. But
Okay, all right.
whatever.
Pascal got
So
punched in the
if
face.
Brandon Ingram hypothetically would have went to the Hornets, a team that hasn't done anything in the last 5 years.
We're not talking about them making the
Millennia,
playoffs, Ron.
yeah.
We're not.
Okay,
No, go
okay,
ahead.
and so that's the point I'm trying to make, and this is why I'm saying this.
You
You might
telling me
say,
that
"Hold,
the
wait, just
Hornets-
wait a second, just wait a second."
I thought
You may
you
not
were
say,
fucking ball,
just
man.
wait a second. You might not say that it's fair because you might say that the Raptors players are better than the Hornets players. I think that that's a wash, whatever it is. All I'm saying
What?
is, we seen LaMelo Ball get busy. No, you're talking to no because what you wanted to say is let's talk about Scotty Barnes as the player. We've seen LaMelo Ball get busy. We've seen him go to the play.
Why are the
and they
rosters
lost.
even relatively
It's-
close, though, Ron?
Why are you even bringing the Hornets?
Both teams
No,
suck
I'm
ass
trying to
last
hear
year.
the point. I'm trying.
That's
to
what I'm
hear
trying to hear. I'm trying to get to the.
There's no
Ron-
point, Mars.
Yes, it is.
Both, I'm saying both teams sucked ass last year. You add Brandon Ingram to the team. Now all of a sudden you want to say that the Raptors are going to be good.
They were injured
What
last
I'm
year,
saying
too.
is, we didn't see nothing from the Hornets last year. We know that they have an all-star caliber player, LaMelo Ball. Adding Brandon Ingram isn't just a fix for that team. I believe that's the same thing with the Raptors. They
So,
sucked
Ron, how can
last
you
year. They have an all-star level player in Scotty Barnes, and I don't think Brandon Ingram is going to be good enough
Did
to just
RJ
make
Barrett
them-
not have a career season last year? Am I tripping? I'm not even trying to hype these
Oh,
Raptors, by the way.
I'm sleep on RJ. I'll put
No,
that
that's
on.
fine. That's cool. But I'm
Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller better than RJ Barrett right now? No, that's what I'm saying. We're not having it on the combo. We're not having it on the combo. We're not having it on the combo. We can't do it. We can't do
I
it.
bet you Brandon Ingram.
No,
I bet you
but
Brandon
that-
Miller has a better season than him.
How do you know?
I bet you.
How do you know?
I'm
Today-
telling
He didn't
you,
even play
RJ
last year. How do you know?
I'm telling
RJ
you
better
that I
today.
believe that he's going to have a better season than him this year.
Today, Ron, in October of 20.
Who's a better player today?
I think Brandon Miller's better than RJ, so I'm gonna just leave this one.
Bingo!
You haven't even seen Brandon Miller.
Morris, Morris.
I
Can you
don't.
Can you do what Ron
No, I
would
don't.
not do, refuse to do, or couldn't do? Could you tell us why, please? Because
Yeah,
Ron,
thank you.
Ron ain't doing none of that.
I
I
would,
think
but Mars is
Brandon-
going to take it from me.
I think RJ Barrett is a bad defensive player. That's
Oh
why
my
I'm gonna
God.
start there. I think he's a
I
bad
agree.
defensive player. I also think the best. Nice one, Ron. I think the best thing RJ Barrett brings is his ability to get downhill. The issue is he's a bad finisher at the rim. The numbers bear that out. The eye test bears that out. He's a bad finisher at the rim. If you want me to bring up numbers, I can. But if you
Lamar,
watch him,
is he better than Kyle Kuzma?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna start doing this too.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
I want
not
to start
here-
going
I'm
after
not here
Giannis'
pushing
third
agendas.
best
I'm just
player,
giving-
and then
I'm
we're
just
just gonna
giving-
start
I'm just
stacking the
giving my
roster. That's what we're
opinion.
gonna do.
I'm just giving my opinion. The numbers will bear that out, but I think the eye test bears that out. If Penn was in the chat, I think he would substantiate that claim. Brandon Miller, to me, being at his size, a really, really, really good shooter, provides a level of spacing value that I don't think RJ Barrett can match. Brandon Miller, I think, is a better defender in year 2 than RJ Barrett has ever shown in the NBA. Do I think he's a good defender? No. Do I think he's damaging a team's defense? No. I think RJ Barrett actively hurts his team's defense, which is tough because Toronto have the personnel to be a really good defense, and they even were the second half of the year.
Sure.
I think Brandon Miller would do more to help that Toronto team than RJ Barrett would because of his value as a shooter, because of his value away from the ball, and because of the fact that he's not as damaging defensively. That's why I think he's better than RJ
So this
Barrett.
is
But I don't think it's a major gap either way.
but you're
I think
acknowledging that this is mostly eye test stuff, right?
Yeah,
He said
but
he
I
could
know
bring
the
the
numbers
numbers
would
in. He said-
the
he said
numbers
he
would definitely defend the finishing point.
Yes, he said he
But
could bring
the rest of it is
Even though when
well, I mean,
watched
I
what he
think we
did,
all
he
agree
was
Brandon
really
Miller's a better shooter. Like, but the numbers will back that up as well.
Well, I just don't think he's as polished. Like he's not as he's. I think the
I
issue
don't
with
think I think RJ Barrett lacks polish.
Yeah, the issue with RJ Barrett is I think that last year he started off the season shooting extremely well, and then it dropped off as over the course of the year. Some of that was because of the roster issues, because of the injuries they had. Remember, RJ Barrett at one point was averaging like 23 on like damn near like 60, if I remember correctly. Like he was shooting great from 3, he was hitting his pull-ups, but again, eventually reality set in, chill, and then that early start of season
RJ Barrett was in
glaze.
the 30th percentile at
Right.
the end last year. So that's
Yeah,
what
he's not. He failed last year. Brandon Ingram, I think is better than Brandon Miller. Brandon Ingram better than Brandon Miller. That's the point.
Yes,
right?
for sure. Yeah,
And then I think Scotty clearly is, but I don't even want to. That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to do the. Ron took it to Charlotte. I want to stick on the Bucks.
Please
Bi's
do
better. Bi would be the third. Bi would be the second best player on that Bucks team. I think we can agree with that. The second best player on that Bucks team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, yes.
RJ Barrett will be the fourth. He ain't better. Maybe he's not better than Miles. He's for sure better than Kuzma. We can get with that.
No. Swipe it.
Go ahead.
That whole roster. Well, not the whole roster, but the top guys on our roster are better than everybody over there except for Giannis. So yeah, the Bucks might have the one better player, but then after that, it's all Raptors, and then we get the Miles Turner.
I'm just blown away by him. And Moss brings the numbers up. I'm blown away by a guy that's averaging almost 22 a game for his career. So I guess it's empty, essentially, what he's doing. It doesn't seem that RJ Barrett, he averages almost 20.
Just because I think Brandon Miller's better.
I like RJ Barrett a lot.
And I don't think that, and I'm not sitting here. I think that Brandon Miller is a great piece for what they're doing. I just don't think that they have a clue what they're doing in Charlotte. I think that's the problem. They don't have an idea. However,
Do they have a clue what they're doing in Toronto?
Yeah, Darko's better. Darko's for sure better than Doc Rivers right now. I'll tell you that much.
I'll get Okay.
Yeah, we're not talking about Charlotte no more.
No, we're not. We just talking about
Is Darko not a better coach
I
than Doc
think we
Rivers?
all agree Toronto's better than Charlotte. I think even Ron.
Yes, we do. Yes. There's
No,
nobody-
they
Ron said
are.
they're both-
No.
okay.
All I'm saying is I the reason why I brought up the Hornets is because I was saying if Brandon Ingram went over there, I don't think he would elevate them to a playoff team like that.
Well, he doesn't have to
agree, but I
elevate
think
the
that's because
Raptors
they're-
though.
I
to
think
that.
the reason I'm high on the Brandon Ingram acquisition for Toronto is because they have the foundation of a really good defense.
Mhm.
So you plug in Brandon Ingram to a struggling offense, that means something. The Hornets suck on defense. You adding more offense to a team that's egregious on defense doesn't help. Whereas I think Brandon Ingram, this is a team that since January 1st was sixth in defense in the Toronto Raptors. You add Brandon Ingram to a team that struggles to score in the half court. Brandon Ingram, in my opinion, is one of the most effective half court scorers in the NBA. That raises your floor to where you can maybe be a slightly below average offense alongside a really good defense. That's enough to get in the play-in my opinion. Now, top 6, I don't see it. But playing 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, I think that's where Toronto can end up.
But I think that's
And
where
why I think
but that's where
Brandon
your point about Giannis, Ron, comes into fact. I think Giannis is the difference between those teams. That will be the difference if they were to match up head to head. But I think what I'm looking at here, I'm looking at regular season, where all these teams going to finish. And again, don't look now. The 76ers are mostly healthy. If you're telling me that Embiid is mostly healthy right now, Ron, and Tyrese Maxey is mostly healthy, Jared McCain, BJ Edgecombe, that team is for sure better than the Bucks. The question is will they be healthy by the end of the year to be able to place? But Ron, I mean, honestly, legitimately, if you asked me and you told me that I get 55 games from Embiid, I get mostly games from Jared McCain.
But you're not going to get that though, Swiper.
I'm saying right now he's healthy. That's all I can give it to him. I'm saying that's all I can say. Right now,
who's healthy right now?
Embiid. He played 5-on-5 in practice yesterday. He was looking really good over the weekend.
That doesn't mean he's healthy.
I know, but I'm saying, but he can play basketball at this point.
It was a controlled environment. Like it's way
okay, but we got 11 more
but
days.
He's working his way towards health. We'll say that.
Right.
That's not the first scrimmage he's been a part of. He's working his way.
Look healthy to me.
Your mic went out, Swiper.
No. Let him keep going. Keep going, Swiper. Go.
We'll see if we can.
Come on. Earn your Yapper of the Year award. Go ahead.
What I'm asking, Ox, because again, you talk about that Toronto Raptors roster. I mean, we've seen rosters. We've seen rosters that have not been as good. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ox, but we've seen rosters who have not been good. But we've seen the better player carry that roster that has not been good to a different place. And I think that Giannis, even though this roster isn't up to snuff like you think it is, I think Giannis is that good that he could take this team to be in a top 16 in the Eastern Conference this season, just off the strength of him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Giannis is an amazing basketball player. I also think that.
No, you don't, Ox. You think he's the best player in the world. You don't think he's an amazing basketball player. You think he's the best on the planet. So if he's the best on the planet, and they got a roster that's not Knicks, Atlanta, it's not that good, but it's substantial enough, right? It's substantial enough.
That's where we disagree. Sure, that's where we disagree.
Ox, they ain't. So if you take Giannis off that roster, are they Charlotte? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Like, I think that right. They're worse than Charlotte without Giannis. Without Giannis, that team is way worse than Charlotte. So what I'm saying is, I think that team is so bad, and I think Giannis is so good that I highly doubt. And I know it's just been a whole lot of rumors and a lot of hearsay, and I don't want to get into all that narrative talk. But I highly doubt that Giannis is willing to stick around that roster. Like, something has to change. That team is bad. Sure, that team is bad. Really bad. That team is bad. That's all. I'm just gonna keep repeating that. They are not good.
They're gonna be a lot better than what you think they're gonna be this year. I don't think that they are the number 1 or the number 2 seed, top 3 seed. I do think that they make the playoffs, and I don't think that they make the playoffs by playing their way in like the Trailblazers are gonna do.
How many games did they win this year, Chill?
I think that they win anywhere between 42 to 47 games.
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, they're not winning. So
44 games. I'm cool. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Ross, over under at 44. Which one you taking?
I'm gonna take.
Our line is at 44.5. Which one you taking?
I'll take the over. Yeah, I'll take the over.
I'll probably take the over. I think Giannis can get him 46.
Yeah, 46, 47.
In the East, too, I think Giannis can get him 46.
We got to get off this in the East thing. We have to get off that.
They wouldn't be a playoff team at all in the Western Conference.
We can't get off the.
But they don't play in the West, so I don't care about
I'm saying that's why we're bringing up the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I don't care about that. So
39 to 43 wins.
Like,
that's what
chill. If it was 46 wins in the West, and you could say just relative, they play every team in the NBA. If they win 46 games and they're in the Western Conference, they don't make the play-in.
They're a play-in team.
46 wins in the East is
they would be a 9.
Yeah,
Significantly better.
they're a 9 seed. The 46 wins is a 9
in the East. 46 wins might be enough for 6th, but
you see what I'm saying? So like 46 wins, and that's the point that I'm making is that 46 wins in the East matters.
Last year,
you got to get those 46 wins though.
Last year, the Detroit Pistons won 44 games, and they were the 6th seed. Milwaukee.
I think if Philly are injured like most people project them to be, I think the Bucks will be a top 6 seed. If Philly are relatively healthy, which means you get
better than that,
45, 50 games of Embiid, you get 55 games of Paul George, you get 65 games of Maxey, then I think Philly would be better than the Bucks. But it's very hard to project how many games those guys are going to play. Honestly, but I have Milwaukee as a 6th seed in that.
I'm quiet, not quietly. I'm not going to say quietly because I feel like whenever you say quietly, I think you're ducking. Like you're not going to say exactly how you feel. How you feel about Embiid, Mars? I feel even higher than that about him. I just think he made a glass. if he was healthy, I think that this team could be a top 3 seed in the East. If he was healthy, I think he's that good. But I don't think he's going to hold up. I don't. That's why I don't have them that's why I don't have them in the mix here, because I don't think he's going to hold up. And everybody on that Philly team relies on him so much to do so much for them. If they didn't rely on him that much, then maybe we could have a different conversation. But because he's so good on the glass as a mid-range shooter, around the basket, as a hub, because he's so good at all of those things, and they rely on him so much, they need him on the floor. If I'm only going to get, if I'm lucky, if I'm going to get 50 games, Miles, I'm not getting back-to-backs. That means that when we play Boston tonight, and then we play Brooklyn tomorrow night, which we need to beat them, by the way, to stay in the race. We're not going to get Joel Embiid, and we might lose to Brooklyn. Why do I know we might lose to Brooklyn? Because you and I had a conversation about your boys in a dogfight in Brooklyn with those dudes. So we could very well go into Brooklyn and lose.
They got Jordy Fernandez.
These are the games that we have to win. And if Joel Embiid's not available, these are the games that we're going to lose, which is going to drop us in the standings. So if Joel Embiid was healthier, I would be much higher on the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not, because I think he's made of glass, and I don't think he's going to hold up.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.